You're watching a special edition of CBS3's News at 6 from Bayfront Festival Park with Kristen Vaki, Kelly Hinseth, and Dave Anderson on live local CBS3.
Good evening. I'm Kristen Vaki. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful Friday evening. We are live at Bayfront Park as Grandma's Marathon weekend kicks off. Now, this is the first major race taking place in the U.S. since the pandemic. And let me tell you, the energy and excitement is in the air. Kelly Hinseth joins us now at the starting line of the William A. Irvin 5K, which is just getting underway. Hey, Kelly.
Yeah, Kristen, I feel like I'm about to run the race right now. The gun is just about to go off here at Bayfront Park for the William Irvin 5K, the first time that it's happened in 2 years. And there the runners go. There are close to 1,500 racers in this year's race. Now, it will be a while that runners are passing the start line because they are doing a rolling start that starts in front of the aquarium over there just to space out runners. That is why we have the start line down at Bayfront instead of the traditional over at the Irving. Now, coming up at approximately 6:15 is when racers will start to cross the finish line. They are chip timed, so there will be no outright winner to begin with. We won't know for a while as racers cross the finish line. Coming up in sports, I'll have a preview of tomorrow's races plus an update from this race as well. And I'm going to send it back to you, Kristen. Exciting! This is it! Grandma's weekend!
Thank you, Kelly. Well, joining us now is Zach Schneider, who is in charge of marketing and public relations for Grandma's Marathon. Zach, I have to imagine this is quite an exciting day for you.
Yeah, exciting, and the sigh of relief doesn't come until late tomorrow night when we get through everything. But the runners are off. The 45th annual Grandma's Marathon is underway, and it's a day that up until maybe a month and a half ago we weren't sure we would see. So it's great to be here.
Let's talk a little bit about that, because initially it was virtual last year. You had to make a lot of changes again this year, and then change things again after restrictions were lifted. So how did you handle that?
Yeah, again and again and again. I think we're on plan 13 or 14, at least internally, of Grandma's Marathon. But no, we always said that we would adapt, and that's what our staff and mainly our volunteers in the community and business partners have done. I think the 45th annual Grandma's Marathon is maybe the best one yet, just because of the condensed timeline and the way that everyone came together. And in early May, we got news that we could do more than we thought we could, and we put things back into the plan. And everybody came together to make this weekend happen. We always rely on the community and our business partners and our sponsors, but this year we asked them for more and more.
Yeah.
And they always showed up, just like they always do. So I think our 45th year is maybe our best one yet.
You know, we just heard the William A. Irvin 5K take off. Live music is starting soon. What are you most excited about for this weekend?
I'm just excited that, again, Duluth is on a list with a lot of big cities like Boston and New York and the Twin Cities and Chicago. And we're constantly put up against those types of cities because of the size of our marathon. And Duluth and Two Harbors and the surrounding region always puts on such a good show. And so our community has backed us from the very start in 1977. But I'm so proud of the way that everyone helped us get to this weekend, because the 9 of us on staff sure couldn't do it alone. So we needed everybody to come together, and like I said, we asked them for maybe more than we usually do, and this is the result. It's going to be a great weekend.
It's already off to a great start. I know you have a lot going on this weekend, so we're going to let you go. Thank you so much for joining us,
Yes,
Zach.
thank you for the time. Appreciate
Absolutely.
it.
Well, right now we are taking a live look at the Michelina's all-you-can-eat spaghetti dinner as runners get ready for Saturday's big race. Now, food is a crucial part of the prep work, and this year 2,000 pounds of dry spaghetti and 20,000 meatballs are being used. And moving from the spaghetti dinner, we are now taking a live look at the can of worms. With many folks traveling to Duluth for the race, that will create a traffic headache. But marathon organizers say the best places to park will be at Bayfront Park, the aquarium, or the deck. And more traffic means more people, which is good news for local businesses in town. And joining us now to talk about the economic impact of Grandma's Marathon is Anna Tansky with Visit Duluth. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, what a busy day already, huh?
You know, the energy and just how dynamic this whole event is, we are all so grateful to have this gift here in our community.
Well, 2020, it's no secret, was a very difficult year for the business community. How important is having an event like Grandma's Marathon back to local businesses?
You know, I think it's something that we learned throughout all of 2020 is what Duluth as a community looks like without events, without tourism in general. And as it slowly came back, we started to see all the businesses emerge. And now with our kickoff to summer with Grandma's Marathon, we're really seeing the vitality that this brings to our community.
What do you think are some challenges businesses will continue to face into the year ahead?
We know very much that the workforce shortage is a critical issue because just as businesses were given the green light to reopen at full capacity, unfortunately, we do not have the staffing levels to support that. So even though we are seeing demand come back, we don't necessarily have the capacity to fulfill that need.
Well, this is a great start to summer, as you mentioned. What are you most looking forward to the year ahead after such a difficult year?
We are looking forward to everything because it is truly a celebration of a return to normal. And we know that Duluth businesses were always at the forefront, really, of being prepared to welcome visitors in a really safe and careful manner. But now that we have the flexibility and the freedom to do so in a virtually normal manner, we know that these events that are scheduled to take place are going to breathe new life into our community that really is, I think, a way for all of us to really recognize what they really bring to us as local residents as well.
Well, Anna, thank you so much. I know there's a lot going on this weekend. You're excited. Everyone's excited. Enjoy yourself.
Thank you so much. We are really excited to say welcome to Grandma's Weekend.
Thank you so much, Anna. Well, Grandma's Weekend is also a marathon of a weekend for Duluth's first responders. The Duluth Police Department says it has all hands on deck with mutual aid coming from as far away as the Twin Cities. Lieutenant Chad Nagorski says they are prepared for Duluth's largest event and the biggest we've hosted since the pandemic started.
Get from anywhere from 20 to 60,000 people that come to the city of Duluth. We probably quadruple or even 5 to 10 times as many officers that would work in a normal day that have to work down at Grandma's Marathon. And then we also have some partners with the State Patrol, St. Louis County, Lake County.
The Duluth Fire Department says they too are ready. They'll have crews staffed up and down the race course to help with any emergencies. Well, we have plenty of Grandma's content to come, but first we'll head back to Natalie Grant in the CBS3 studio for your local news update.
All right, thanks, Kristen. Here's a look at today's top local headlines. After 3 people died in crashes in an Itasca County intersection just in the last month, community leaders are now working on a safety solution. DNR Conservation Officer Sarah Grell, EMT Troy Betcher, and 17-year-old Joey Latimer all died in crashes at the intersection of County Roads 57 and 336. The 2 crashes happened within weeks of each other and left many calling for improvements to stop it from happening again. Now, on Monday, a group including engineers, educators, law enforcement, and members of the Itasca County Board of Commissioners met at that intersection. They discussed the possibility of safety upgrades. The county is planning to use those recommendations to decide how best to prevent future crashes. Right now, a wildfire is burning up on the Iron Range, closing a portion of Highway 135 near Embarrass and forcing evacuations nearby. The fire is burning near the intersection of Highway 135 and Rockala Road. According to Friends of the Northland Firewire, the wildfire is about 40 acres in size. The flames threaten nearby homes, and there have been some evacuations. Airplanes and 2 helicopters are fighting the fire from above. Highway 135 is closed just north of the fire, and detours are set up. We are currently learning to learn more as we speak. Strong winds are also causing power outages tonight across northern Minnesota, particularly in places like Hibbing. At last check, about 600 households were in the dark. We'll have much more coming up tonight on the CBS 3 News at 10, but for now, let's send things back out to Bayfront Festival Park, where Dave is bringing us a first look at the forecast. Dave, how's it going?
It's going wonderfully, Natalie. The weather is fine for a 5K race, and now all the action just a few minutes ago was behind me. Now it's over that way as those runners roll towards the William A. Irvin and Glory, 5K Glory. And I'm not dogging them because I don't know if I could run a half a K anymore. Getting old. This weather, not getting old for some folks. It's really rather pleasant. Let's talk, though, about the dangerous side to this beautiful weather we have today. It's awfully dry, so our entire region is facing critical fire danger. If you're outdoors camping, take it easy with the campfires. Hopefully on Sunday we get what we need to solve the problem. Let's move on and take a quick look at the forecast then for the short term. And tonight we do have a 20% chance for a little bit of rain. Probably won't add up to much. Tomorrow, race day, 72 and mostly sunny. But again, come Sunday, we could get cooler and we could get wetter. And I'll tell you more in just a little bit.
Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, for 9 years, one runner has been putting his body to the test by running a grandma's double. We'll tell you what exactly that is next. Running a full 26.2 miles is a big feat for some, but how about doing it twice back to back? CBS 3's Natalie Grant shares the unique way one longtime Grandma's Marathon runner takes on the course.
On the morning of Grandma's Marathon, runners usually start their day with an early alarm, maybe a light breakfast, and they're on their way out the door up to the Two Harbors starting line. But for one Missouri man, that starting line is only a halfway point.
Turned out to be just one of those things I do each year.
Eric Strand has been running Grandma's since 2000, when his running career took off. As he grew in skill, so did the number of miles he'd race, eventually landing him at the Leadville 100 in Colorado, a 100-mile marathon.
To train for a 100-mile race, one of the best things you can do is just be on your feet for like 8 to 10 hours at a time moving forward. And so I had a training run scheduled for Grandma's weekend, and 26.2 miles simply wasn't long enough.
With 26.2 not cutting it for Strand anymore, he decided in 2012 to start his Grandma's Marathon morning in Canal Park, running up to the starting line in Two Harbors and back with the rest of the field. He's coined it the Grandma's Double.
The roads are quiet. There's not much going on at 2:33 in the morning, and it's beautiful watching the sunrise over Lake Superior, watching the whole race course wake up with all the volunteers.
Over the years, Strand says others have joined him for his run to the starting line, including his own sons. He says after all these years, Grandma's continues to be his favorite race and keeps him coming back year after year.
It has such community support with the volunteers, with the crowds, and even though you're a fairly average runner, they make you feel like a rock star.
Ready once again to lace up his running shoes Saturday in the dead of night to knock out 52 miles by the shores of Lake Superior.
Strand tells us he will keep running Grandma's doubles as long as he can, and once he is done, he hopes his sons take over the tradition. Well, we are keeping our eyes on another extraordinary runner. 69-year-old Jim Kirkham was diagnosed in 2006 with aplastic anemia, a disease where you don't make enough cells in your blood. But despite what his doctor recommended, he continued to run. But in April of 2020, Kirkham was diagnosed with bone marrow cancer. He received a bone marrow transplant less than a year ago, but despite his hardships, he will be running the full marathon tomorrow.
I always assumed I was going to do well and it was going to go okay. I think that helps having a positive attitude, and I think it really helps if you do exercise, whatever it is. If you're pushing a walker, that's exercise.
Back in 2018, Kirkham received a Grandma's Marathon belt buckle for running 1,000 miles on the Grandma's Marathon courses. We are now going to head over to meteorologist Dave Anderson, who will bring us the Grandma's weekend forecast. Hey, Dave.
Two big holidays coming our way here this weekend. We're on the eve for the first one. That, of course, is Grandma's Marathon, and the weather is going to be fair. Right now it's pretty nice. Could be a little bump in the road later tonight, but fair tomorrow. The second holiday, Father's Day on Sunday. That weather may be a little bit foul, but boy, we need some of that foulness. We need some rain desperately, and we just might get a decent total on Sunday. Current temperatures, 70s in the northern parts of Minnesota, low 80s for many of the rest of us. Almost picture perfect here for Grandma's Marathon, and tomorrow will be a little bit cooler, even better for those runners. Now, let's move into the current Doppler and satellite map. I talked about a bump in the road that may come later on tonight, and that's in the form of a small cold front and a low pressure system that's got some showers and exiting parts of Ontario, and another little batch coming in from the west. What we get tonight then is not a failure to communicate. It's a chance for some rain from 9 to about midnight tonight. 20% chance in Minnesota, a little bit better for Wisconsin and Michigan. So let's go through the forecast here. Let's start with tonight. The chance for the rain, 20% like I mentioned in Minnesota, could be a 30% shot for Wisconsin and Michigan. Getting into tomorrow though, that 3-hour chance for rain already disappears and higher pressure settles in to make for a sunnier sky. But since it's a Canadian high, it won't be blazingly warm. We'll have a high temp around 72. So race time temperatures running 50 to 72. I think the runners will enjoy that. And for those who need rain, and that's all of us, maybe we'll grin and bear it and enjoy Sunday, because a new low coming out of Colorado brings an 80% chance for rain, maybe some thunderstorms, and if it pays off, we could get a quarter to even a half-inch worth of what we desperately need, precipitation. We're about 2 inches short for June right now. Let's talk about tonight's forecast in Minnesota. The low temps will run a range of 45 to 50 with that 20% chance for showers and storms from roughly 9 to midnight. Into Wisconsin and Michigan, we'll say maybe 9 to 1 a.m. and low temps on that side of the border will fall to about 50. For tomorrow in Wisconsin and Michigan, temperatures are decent and sky conditions as well. Look for a mostly sunny sky with highs from 70 to 76. Swing it into Minnesota now, and we're going to see 60s by the lake, lower 70s to mid 70s inland, all with sunshine. Sunshine comes to a crashing halt on Sunday with our 7-day forecast. We see that 80% chance for clouds and rain and maybe some thunder too, and a cool down. We drop into the 60s Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Could be a few follow-up showers on Monday, otherwise it dries up again on Tuesday, but then warms up again by Wednesday. So whatever you have at one given moment around this neck of the woods, you know it isn't going to last forever, and it's going to change if you're patient.
Thank you so much, Dave. Coming up in sports, we'll have continued coverage of Grandma's Marathon, and Kelly will join us live from the finish line of the William A. Irvin 5K. Stay with us. Welcome back to Bayfront. We are now going to head to the finish line of the William A. Irvin 5K, where Kelly Hinseth has been keeping an eye on the runners. Kelly, how's it going?
Well, Kristen, runners are continuing to funnel through as they make their finishes. Mason Shea is the outright winner. We'll have a full list of winners tonight at 10 as it is chip time, so we'll have full list of exact times tonight at 10. But of course, tomorrow is the big ones, the half marathon and the marathon. And a very familiar face from 2 years ago is making his return. Boniface Congan, Samantha Bassarico caught up with him earlier this week on how excited he is to run tomorrow's race. Take a look.
Grandma's Marathon returns for 2021.
I miss racing and I miss everything about it because of what happened last year.
And returning to the marathon this year is a familiar face.
Who doesn't want to come back to Duluth? It's a beautiful city. I love the race. I love everything about it. So
2 years ago, Bone started Grandma's Marathon like every other runner, but soon shocked the competition, finishing here in Duluth in first place as a non-elite runner with a time of 2:11:56.
when I was doing Grandma's, I was having Achilles problem, hamstring. That was kind of a relief, crossing that finish line, you know, because I had so much going on, and crossing the finish line was a relief. I was happy.
Now this year, competing alongside him is someone he knows very well.
Yeah, he's my training mate, and we have been training together.
But now they become competitors on Saturday.
So yeah, we have been competing with him in several races.
and this isn't the first time.
So whoever when it's Chile, that's Chile. Yeah. If it's for him to win, yeah. But everyone wants to win.
Another return to running, a very special one for 26-year-old Megan Stouts from Brooklyn, New York. Megan was diagnosed with a rare tongue cancer last summer. She actually qualified for the Boston Marathon prior to last year's COVID-19 pandemic hitting. Tomorrow will be her first marathon back since getting diagnosed.
I was really ready to sign up for races and get out there because, we never know how much time we have to achieve the things we want to achieve. And I'm just really excited that I have the opportunity to try to keep going and keep improving.
Well, she hopes for a good time tomorrow, but honestly, she is just so happy to be back running where she feels most like herself. Best of luck to Boniface, to her, and to all runners running tomorrow in Grandma's half and full marathon. Kristen, I'll send it back to you for now.
Kelly Hinsed live for us at the finish line of the 5K. Thank you so much, Kelly. Well, kids also have a chance to take part in the Grandma's Marathon Fun. The Grandma's Whippersnapper race took place today at Bayfront Park. Kids as old as 14 could run one of a couple of pre-marked courses ranging from 100 to 400 meters. Nick Pryor, who came all the way from Arizona, said he's enjoying Duluth so far, but his favorite part was winning today's race.
My most favorite would be racing. Okay. I tried to run as fast as I could to win first.
Pryor has family running the half and full marathons this weekend. Well, thank you so much for joining us at Bayfront Park tonight. It's been a wonderful evening headed into what's definitely going to be a great weekend. We will see you back in studio at 10.